Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama.
Jai Radha Kunja Vihar Maharani ki. So reading from Canto 1, Chapter 8, text number 20. This is the third prayer of Kunti Maharani. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayanti Nasta Prayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Naistiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Nanda Namo Namaha. तथा परमहंसानां मुनीनामलात्मना भक्तियोगविदानार्थं पश्येम स्त्रियः तथा परमहंसानां मुनीनामलात्मना भक्तियोगविदानार्थं पश्येम स्त्रियः तथा परमहंसानां मुनीनामलात्मना भक्तियोगविधानार्थं पश्येम स्त्रियः
तथा परमहंसानां योगविधानार्थं पश्येम स्त्रियः तथा भक्तियोगविधानार्थं पश्येम तथा परमहंसानां
तथा परमहंसानां मुनीनामलात्मना भक्तियोगविधानार्थं कथं पश्येम हि स्त्रियः Station and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada ki jai. You yourself descend to propagate the transcendental science of devotional service unto the hearts of the advanced transcendentalists and mental speculators, who are purified by being able to discriminate between matter and spirit. How then can we, women, know you perfectly? Purport. Even the greatest philosophical speculators cannot have access to the region of the God. It is said in the Upanishads that the supreme truth, the absolute personality of Godhead, is beyond the range of thinking power of the greatest philosopher. He is unknowable by great learning or by the greatest brain. He is knowable only by one who has his mercy. Others may go on thinking about him for years together, yet he is unknowable. This very fact is corroborated by the queen, who is playing the part of an innocent woman. Women in general are unable to speculate like philosophers, but they are blessed by the Lord because they believe at once in the superiority and almightiness of the Lord, and thus they offer obeisances without reservation. The Lord is so kind that he does not show special favor only to one who is great philosopher. He knows the sincerity of purpose. For this reason only, women generally assemble in great number in any sort of religious function. In every country and every sect of religion, it appears that the women are more interested than the men. This simplicity of acceptance of the Lord's authority is more effective than showy, insincere religious fervor. ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरि वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतावरिणे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्र पातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरो दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं। Hare Krishna. Welcome you all for the Srimad Bhagavatam class this morning. So, everybody understands English? Anybody can understand Kannada translation? Somebody doesn't understand, you can move on to. So, so this is actually according to the Gregorian calendar. Today happens to the New Year. So yesterday we had nice program and lot of wonderful dancing, kirtan, everything. But actually our New Year falls on the day of, actually the Vedic calendar New Year starts on Yugadi, and for Gaudiya Vaishnavas it starts on Gaurabdha, Gaur Purnima. So that is our special occasion where we can really celebrate the New Year, because that's the beginning of the month, right? So, but of course, devotees are expert in having the following the principle of Yukta Vairagya, using anything and everything in service of Krishna. With that purpose only we had this small celebration yesterday so that people can hear the holy name, they can chant the holy name, they can get some interest in Bhagavad Gita. And that's the reason why devotees distribute Bhagavad Gita. Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subramanya ki jai, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai, Shri Lakshmana Singh ki jai. Right? So today's day is nothing, got nothing with spirituality or Krishna consciousness, but still one can utilize it in service of the Lord by totaling it in the service of the Lord. So by propagating Krishna consciousness. So across the world, this last weekend of December is the week where they distribute maximum Bhagavad Gitas, especially in the Western world. Right. So I was reading some books where in one night they were distributing like 15,000, 20,000 Krishna books and Bhagavad Gitas. So that was the kind of distribution which was happening in this weekend. So that's why Prabhupada expertly doubted in this date in Krishna's service. So yesterday we also did some kirtan and Nagar Sankirtan to awaken people's Krishna consciousness. But actually seeing the time factor keeps flowing. It doesn't stop for anything. Right? The difference between yesterday and today is not much. The only difference is we see 22 becoming 23 in the watch. That's all. The worries, the anxieties, the duties, the job, everything remains same. There's no much difference there. In fact, there's a big difference between the materialist and spiritualist, which is told in Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto. There's a verse which says, at Ayur Harati Vaipumsam, Udyan Astan Chenaso, Tasya Ritayat Kshano Nita Uttama Shloka Vartaya. So this verse is from second canto where it is said that the rising and setting of the sun, whenever the sun rises and the sun sets, what is happening? One page from our life is going. One day from our life is going. We used to have these calendars in the previous times. No? 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 30. Then again 1, 2, 3, 31. Again 1, 2, 3. The whole calendar goes, and ultimately on 31st December nothing remains. So it is said that Ayur Harati Vapumsam. Every rising and setting of the sun steals one day from the person's life. So we are one day more closer to death. Philosophically speaking, we are one day more closer to death, or 1 year more closer to death. Udyan Astan Chayanaso. Ayur Harati. Ayu Harati means the time steals our life. In Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says, I am time. Time is called Kala. Kala also means death. Time I am the destroyer of everything, Krishna says. So by the power of time, everything is getting destroyed one by one by one. People get destroyed, the dynasties, the countries, everything. Where are the old dynasties? Where is Alexander? Where is Hitler? Where is Stalin? They are just names now. So this is the power of time. Everything is going. But the second line of this shloka says, Tasya rite yat kshanonita uttama shloka vartaya, which means what? Except those who are engaged in hearing Krishna Katha, everybody is coming closer to death. But those who are engaged in Krishna Katha, Uttama Shloka Varta. Uttama Shloka is Krishna. Uttama Shloka Varta means discussing about Krishna, hearing Krishna's glories. Tasya Rite. Except these people who are hearing Krishna Katha, everybody else is going towards death. Or does it mean that devotees don't die? Devotee's body dies, but the soul goes closer to Krishna. Tasya Rite Kshanonita Uttama Shloka Vartaya. So what is happening is devotees, they are investing time in Krishna's service, but the matter is they are wasting time in sense gratification. Because they're disrespecting Krishna, who is none other than time. Kalosmi, Krishna says. I am time. Time is Krishna. Prabhupada said if somebody is Krishna conscious, is somebody is time conscious, is Krishna conscious. Time consciousness is equal to Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada is very conscious about time. He was very particular of doing all the things on time. He was sleeping and getting up on time, 10 o'clock, sleeping about 1 o'clock, rising, translating, his shower, taking bath, and then morning walk, and Bhagavatam class, and meetings, answering letters, everything was properly timed, right? Because Prabhupada was very conscious. Avyartha kalatam. One of the qualities of a advanced devotee is avyartha kalatvam. He'd never waste any time. He always uses it in Krishna's service. Another famous example is Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Can anyone match that schedule, what he had 1 century ago, right? 100 years back, what schedule? He being the judge and then having 10 children and hundreds of preaching programs running. So with all that, he was managing a regulated schedule. So he respected time. But materialistic people, what they do, they waste their time in sense gratification. Discussing Gramya Katha. Opposite of Krishna Katha is Gramya Katha. So what is Gramya Katha? Discussing about politics, discussing about mundane sports, discussing about what's happening in Gramya Katha means in the country or in the village or in others' home, discussing about others. All this is Gramya Katha. Those who are engaging in Gramya Katha, they come closer to death. In the second canto itself, another shloka says that those who are involved in Gramya Katha, they are compared to frogs, toads. Toads, frogs. What they do? In the rainy season, you can hear the sound. Kurr, 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 no? So many frogs will be making the chorus sound. So hearing that sound, who comes? Snake comes. So the croaking of the toad is inviting snake. And snake is also compared to time. Kala Sarpa. Snake is compared to time. And it swallows the toad. So those who are engaged in Gramya Katha, they ultimately meet death and they have to face an interview with Yamaraj. Right? So then the Yamaraj will question, did you do this? Did you do this? Yes, yes, sir, yes, sir. Because if he says no, again more punishments will come because our CCTV was watching all over 12, what are 12 Sakshis are there. They were all watching. They give witness. So we cannot escape from Yamaraj's CCTV. So it's watching. So those who are croaking like toads, frogs, they come closer to death. In fact, the death swallows them and they are punished very badly. But those who are engaged in Krishna Katha, so because they are utilizing the time in Krishna's service, Krishna becomes very pleased and then he gives them eternal time. In spiritual world, there is no material time because nobody becomes old in spiritual world. Nobody dies in the spiritual world. So it's eternal, Shashwata Loka. So we have to go from material world, which is Ashashvata Loka, we have to go to Sanatana Loka. That loka is Sanatana Loka, right? So he has a Sarveshu Bhuteshu Nasyatsu Navinashati. Right? Krishna says that when this material world is actually material world is created, destroyed many, many times, but that world is never destroyed. That is Sanatana, that eternally exists. So not only New Year a day, but every day should be newer and newer for a devotee by coming one step closer to Krishna. And many acharyas, they have expressed in their writings that how they are experiencing newer and newer happiness at every step. Right. So one of the famous acharyas who speaks about this is Yamanacharya. Right. Where he spits at sense gratification and he relishes Krishna consciousness. Sense gratification is something which has to be spit it like that. Yadavadi mama chetaha Krishna padar vinde Navanava rasadhamni udyatum rantumasit. Yamunacharya says that because I am remembering the lotus feet of Lord Krishna always, in my heart, newer and newer feelings of devotion are arising. Navanava rasa. Rasa here means devotional rasa, bhakti rasa is awakening in my heart. Dhamni udyatum, we are awakening. Tadavadi bata nari sangame sparyamane bhavati mukha vikara shushtu nishtivanam. So he says, and if in case I get a thought of enjoying the opposite sex, my lips curl in distaste and then spit through, like that he says. So when one awakens his Krishna consciousness taste, then material taste goes away. Rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. Bhagavad Gita also says the same thing. So one may have the hankering for sense gratification in the heart, but by developing Krishna consciousness, he can overcome that taste. So he'll forget the material taste. Srila Prabhupada used to say that no, if somebody gives yesterday's sukha roti and then there is nice sweet, I will not reveal what is the sweet coming, but whatever is there in the menu today, gulab jamun for example, what will one will choose naturally? Huh? So gulab jamun चाहिए तो पहले pick up करता है because this is more tastier. Similarly, the way to give sense gratification is to develop higher taste. So when it develops higher taste, automatically the lower taste goes away. One doesn't even endeavor to give up lower taste; it automatically goes away. One forgets this. Right? Like sometimes children are holding on to something and they're not ready to give. And more you try to steal, more they hold strongly. They don't want to give because they have the tendency to hold. But when you show them new toy, something new, immediately they'll drop it and take the new one. The same thing. So people also they are attached to sense gratification, but when you tell them give it up, they cannot give it up. But when you give them Krishna consciousness, when they hold on to Krishna consciousness, automatically all the bad habits go away, and one doesn't even realize कैसे छूट गया वो छूट जाता है पीछे रह जाता है. Right? So by experiencing, practicing Krishna consciousness and experiencing newer taste, one can come closer to Krishna every day. Right? So, and today we're fortunate to be discussing from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, text number 20. And this is actually the very wonderful series of verses, Shloka number 18 to Shloka number 43. They are the prayers of Srimati Kunti Maharani. So Kunti Maharani is a very exalted personality in Srimad Bhagavatam. She is the wife of Pandu Maharaj and mother of 5 great sons, the Pandavas, and a great devotee of Lord Krishna. And she is also the sister of Vasudeva. So very intimately connected to Krishna's family. So very exalted devotee, very actually very intelligent lady also. If you read the teachings of Queen Kunti book, Prabhupada gives the title to this chapter of this shloka. Today's shloka is the most intelligent lady. So, so today's verse, last two verses were also spoken by Kunti Maharani, where she said that she actually glorified Krishna as Parama Purusha. And today, put in your Prabhupada. So today she is saying Tatha Paramahamsana Munina Amalatmana Bhakti Yoga Vidhanartham Katham Pashyema Hestriya. So Krishna is not an object to be understood by any ordinary person. He's not revealing himself to everybody. So today's topic will be mainly who can understand Krishna and who cannot understand Krishna. right? So intelligent people can understand Krishna, and those who are less intelligent cannot understand Krishna, or they misunderstand Krishna. So that's the main theme of this verse. So Krishna is a subject matter to be understood only by Paramahamsas, pure Vaishnavas. They only can understand. And how they can understand? Only by the process of bhakti. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that he is not revealing himself to common people. Naham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samavritah mudhoyam na vijanati loko mamajam avyayam. He says in this verse of Gita, 7th chapter, that Naham prakasha sarvasya. I am not revealing myself to everybody. I conceal my identity. Previous verse she said, Kunti Maharani had said, Maya javani kachannam agnyadokshajam avyayam na lakshase mudhadrisha nato natyadharo yatha. She had told that a curtain is covering Krishna's identity. Like if the curtain is closed, can we see Krishna? We cannot see Krishna. By the mercy of the pujari, when he opens the curtain, then we can see Krishna. Right? We cannot demand Krishna, show yourself. No, when pujari opens, then only we can see Krishna. So by Krishna's will, when he removes the curtain, then we can see. So Maya Javanika, Javanika means curtain. Achannam, he is concealing himself. So that curtain of Maya is there on us also now. So that's why our common people also, they cannot see Krishna. Even if they see Krishna, they misunderstand Krishna. Right? Even 5,000 years back, when Krishna was personally present on this planet, and people were able to see Krishna, but they are not able to understand the identity of Krishna. Different people are thinking Krishna to be different person, different way. So there's another verse in 10th canto which says, some glow in the throat. That verse says, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I am back. Without Krishna's mercy, you cannot speak also. So Krishna sometimes makes your voice flat. So we are dependent on Krishna for everything, for speaking, for breathing, for eating, for digesting, for all things we are dependent on Krishna. So these kind of thoughts makes us very humble. And we think that we are the doers. मैं कुछ कर सकता हूँ भगवान ऐसे फ्यूज बंद कर देंगे ना तो कुछ नहीं हो सकता. Like when the KV or BM Bescom, when they stop the power, nothing will work. So when Krishna stops the power, none of the senses can function. So when Krishna was present on this planet, different people are seeing Krishna differently. Malla namasane nranam naravara strinam smaro murtinam. There he says that Malla namasane, the wrestlers, when they were Seeing Krishna, they saw as if our chastiser has come. Nranam Naravara. When humans saw, ordinary human citizens, they saw Krishna, they saw, hey, best of the humans has come here. Nranam Naravara. Strinam Smaro Murtinam. And when the gopis, they saw Krishna, they felt as if Madana, Cupid has come. Gopanam Swajanom Asatam Kshitibujam. When the Gopas, they saw, hey, uh, our own person, Swajana, has come here. Then Asatam Kshitibujam Shashta. And those who were impious rulers, the demons who had come in the assembly, actually this scene is happening in Mathura. Mathura, where Kamsa had called Krishna for wrestling match. So there, this is happening. And many impious kings also had come. When they saw Krishna, they saw, hey, our Punisher has come. Like that. Sopitro, Shishuhu, like Devaki Vasudeva were there, they saw Krishna is, oh, mera beta aa gaya. 11 souls. After 11 years, I'm seeing my son. So like this, yeah, Yashoda, Devaki and Vasudeva, they were feeling. Mrityur Bhojapate. When Kamsa saw Krishna, he said, my death is here. My Kala is here. And Kamsa was getting bad dreams about his death. When he saw Krishna, he got scared. But he still tried to fight with Krishna, but Krishna finished him. Mrityur Bhojapater. Virat Avidusham. And those are less intelligent spiritualists, they saw Krishna as Virata Purusha. So in this way, different people saw Krishna differently. And some people did not even understand that Krishna is Supreme Lord. Naham Prakasha Sarvasya. Even Duryodhana could not understand Krishna's supremacy, although Krishna showed him Virata Rupa. Duryodhana said, hey, this is a Mayavi. He has some mystic powers. Capture him. Catch him. So he had made all arrangements with the different armies ready to capture Krishna. And Krishna showed his mystic power, bewildered everybody, and then walked off. So Krishna was understood differently by different people because Krishna doesn't reveal himself to anybody. Even Gyanis also cannot understand Krishna. Gyanis can understand a particular feature of Krishna, but not fully. Gyanis can understand the impersonal feature of the Supreme Lord, Brahma Jyoti. So those who are, for example, those who have material vision towards the sun, they can see sun as bright, white light. But those who are scientists, they see sun as a nuclear reactor. Is a nuclear reactor. But those who are more faithful people, they say Surya Deva gaya. They see him as a person, right? And those who are Vaishnava, they say Surya Narayan. And because even Vaishnavas offer obeisances to Surya. Why? Because he is Surya Dev in Surya Graha is worshipping Surya Narayana, who is Lord Vishnu. Since there for the same object, there can be different levels, different kinds of vision we can have. Similarly, people also see Krishna differently. So Gyanis, they see Krishna as a impersonal Brahman, right? So they cannot approach Krishna's personal body. They only approach Krishna's effulgence. And they are very attracted to that effulgence of the Lord. And Krishna's formula is what? E yathamam prapadyante. That is the formula. However you want to see me, that way I will show myself. If somebody wants to see Krishna as lights, okay, Krishna says, fine, you see my light, Brahma Jyoti. He gives his effulgence. And effulgence is so bright that we cannot see the body of the Lord. And if somebody approaches Krishna with a devotional attitude and he prays to Krishna, Krishna, please remove this effulgence. I want to see your beautiful form. So when somebody comes later, he removes the effulgence. Ishopanishad shloka, it says that how dude is praying Tattvam Pushana Pavrunu Satya Dharmaya Drishtaye hiranmayena patrena satyasya apihitam mukham. Your face is covered by dazzling effulgence. So Lord, please remove this so that I can see your beautiful form. So that's the attitude of a devotee. So the great Gyanis also cannot understand Krishna. Krishna is so great that even if Gyanis, they with the speed of mind, they try to understand Lord, they cannot understand Lord. So Prabhupada mentions that in his purport. He's telling you, even the greatest philosophical speculators cannot have access to the region of the Lord. Because Lord is, uh, he's called as Adhokshaja. He is, he cannot be understood by our material senses. He is Adhokshaja, he is transcendental. With our eyes, we cannot see him. With our material ears, we cannot hear about him, actually. So we can understand Krishna only by our spiritual senses. Right now, our spiritual senses have become inert and material senses are active. They are contaminated. Our senses are contaminated. So with these contaminated senses, we cannot understand Krishna. So we have to purify our senses. Then we can understand Krishna. Like for example, if the iron gets rusted, then it loses its properties. And sometimes even the magnet also cannot get properly attracted to it. But then if you clean it thoroughly, polish it, and again the surface is properly visible, then its properties become manifest. Immediately it is attracted. Similarly, our senses have become contaminated by material sense gratification, because of which we cannot grasp Krishna. Right? So, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Rupa Goswami mentions that Atha Sri Krishna Namadi Na Bhaved Grahayam Indrahe. We cannot understand Krishna with our material senses. The only way to understand is Sevon Mukehi Jihvado Swayameva Sprutyara. When you engage in service of Lord Krishna through your senses, Rishikena, Rishikesha, Sevanam. With your senses, when you engage in Krishna's service, then senses become purified, and with those purified senses, we can understand Krishna. So with our contaminated senses, we cannot understand Krishna. Contamination can be of sense gratification, contamination can be of mental speculation also. Right? All these are contaminations. Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, ये सब विषय भांड चैतन्य चरितामृत. If you are a karma kandi, right? Who is a karma kandi? Karma kandi is a person who performs religious activities for getting better material benefits. He is called as a karma kandi. Their aspiration is to get material sense pleasures in heaven. They want to go to heaven. That's the only goal of life. कहाँ जाना है तुमको? स्वर्ग जाना है. क्यों जाना है? Enjoy करना है. I want to enjoy material pleasures there. So that's why they do karma kanda. They follow scriptures, but they only are selectively taking the portions of the scriptures which are propagating sense gratification. Dhanam dehi, putram dehi, janam dehi, all such kind of things they want to do. But there are others who are jnanis. They take the portions where they want mukti, they want liberation, because they understand that after karmakandi enjoys sense gratification, he'll get frustrated. Okay, because we cannot enjoy sense gratification unlimitedly. One becomes frustrated after some time, and we don't get real pleasure from sense gratification. Right? One person, he wanted to taste what is sugar cane. He asked, "Please tell me how sugar cane looks. I want to taste it." And somebody described, no, it looks like it's a long, like a pipe, and it has got some lines on it, and it has got many sections. So you go and then you should break it and eat it. And he went and he found bamboo, which also looks like that. She broke the bamboo plant and he thought, oh, now we'll enjoy. I've heard a lot of glories of gulab, this sugar cane. Let me eat it. No, he started chewing. He was chewing, but no taste. What is this? I heard that there is happiness, but where is happiness? I'm not getting happiness. because he was trying to find happiness in a wrong place. Instead of sugar cane, he was achieving a bamboo. Right. So same with sense gratification. The karma kandis, they think that, oh, I'll nicely enjoy Swarga. I've, I've heard there is happiness. I'll get real happiness in Swarga. They go and they enjoy there, but after some time, again death comes. अरे, I thought I'll be eternally here. मैं शाश्वत यहाँ पे रहूंगा. Death आ गया. I don't want to go down. Oh, sir, you have to go down. Your visa has got expired. Please go. Your Swarga visa has got expired. You have to go back to Earth to get a renew your visa. No, your karma is over. Go down. Then they're sent. Then again become miserable. I have to go again. So he goes up and comes down. Gata, agata, kama, kama, lavante. He goes round and round and round. I get frustrated. कब तक ये चक्कर काटता रहूंगा? It's so troublesome. I have to again do yajnas and get sukruti and I go up again, come down. I don't want this kind of happiness. I want only happiness of happiness and happiness and happiness. I don't want to come down again. So that is possible only in spiritual world. So Gyanis have this understanding that karma kanda mein kuch nahi hai. So they want to go to Brahman. Brahman. I don't want any dualities of this world. I want to be beyond the dualities of this world. Sukha dukh se हमको ऊपर उठना है. Only आनंद और शाश्वत जगत में रहना है. So they go to Brahman and they are happy. They think they are happy. Om Shanti, 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 So they're experiencing that peace in Brahma Jyoti. But Brahma Jyoti is also a temporary place. Because there is Shanti, but there is no Ananda there. Right? Imagine if you are kept in a room where there is no disturbance, nothing, there is no activity to do also. आपको क्या करने से बैठे रहना है? कोई काम नहीं, कुछ नहीं, आपको प्रसाद मिलेगा और कुछ करना नहीं, सिर्फ बैठे रहना है उधर. Will you be happy? You cannot talk to anybody. No cell phone allowed. Nothing. So that is a kind of experience of Brahman. And for how long they have to stay long, eternal time. And in Brahman there is two features, Sat and Chit. And there is eternity and there is knowledge. So they may stay there for a long time, but after some time they start feeling something vacancy. There is no Ananda here. Because the nature of soul is not it actually Anandamayo Bhyasat, not Shanti. It doesn't want Shanti, it wants Ananda. So in Brahma Jyoti also there is no Ananda. So where is Ananda? Ananda is only in the service of the Lord. Because there is no service in Brahma Jyoti, they feel restless after some time. So then they start looking for happiness. Then they again go back to material happiness. So Bhagavatam says, Aruhya Krichrena Param Padam Tato Patanti Adaha. So they Adaha Patanti, they come down again to this material universe. So that's why you will see many Gyanis. Gyanis are also, Mayavadis are also in that category. You will see it's such spiritual organizations, those who are kind of Gyani tendency, they end up doing a lot of material activities, social service, Samaj Seva. Although they are supposed to be on the platform of spirit and realize Brahman and go beyond, but they come down again to material activities, social service. They open hospitals, schools, and they do material charity, such kind of things. So Prabhupada says, because they have not got spiritual taste, they're again coming down to material activities. They fell down, right? Patanti Adaha. But those people who have crossed beyond Brahma Jyoti, as they go to spiritual world, they have service of Krishna. They're engaged in service of Krishna. And because they are engaged in service of Krishna, they are feeling Ananda. That's called as spiritual happiness. And that spiritual happiness will retain them in the spiritual world. They will not fall down. Prabhupada also used to say that rocket ऊपर जाता है, if it doesn't find the orbit, it again comes down. There's so many rockets, they have come down. Only few rockets have stayed back in the orbit. Why? Because there is no stability, they come down. Similarly, in Brahma Jyoti, there is no stability. So the Gyan is also come down. And those who are pure devotees, they only go to the spiritual world. And who are the pure devotees? They are called as Paramahamsas. Tatha Paramahamsanam Muninam Amalatmanam Bhakti Yoga Vidhanatham Katam Pashe Mahistriyah. Paramahamsa. It's very interesting term. Hamsa means swans. Devotees are compared to swans. And materialistic people are compared to crows. Kaka Jana and Hamsa Jana. So swans, they always relish spiritual happiness. But crows, what they relish? They relish garbage. And swans are there in the clean waters where beautiful lotus flowers bloom, and then there is serene atmosphere, no? Such kind of place. But crows, you will find where they put garbage, they'll come there and kai, no, they're fighting for the piece of garbage. And swans see that, "Chee, no, they don't go there only. If garbage pit is there, they'll close the nose and go from here. No? So materialistic people, they are like crows, and they pounce on sense gratification. Like yesterday night, no, many crows were awake till midnight and then pouncing on sense gratification. Right? I heard that police had put a lot of security. 4,000 to 5,000 police were on the streets and ensuring people reach home safely because most of them are drunk. Right? All the 480 principles will be woken on the New Year night. So what New Year is that? It actually wrote to Yamaloka. It was a bad year for them. Beginning of a bad year for Kakachana. But devotees are like swans. They are in the morning, Mangalarti, chanting Hare Krishna, taking darshan of the Lord and hearing Bhagavad Gita. So they are the swans. Right? So Paramahamsa means they know how to separate spiritual from the material. Right? The great philosophers are mental speculators. Yeah, Prabhupada writes in the translation actually. Who know how to discriminate between matter and spirit. So they will leave the material portion and take only the spiritual portion. I also heard that Hamsa has got a characteristic by which it can, suppose you give it milk to drink, it takes only the milk portion and leaves the water portion there. Some acid is there in the mouth of that Hamsa. As soon as it tries to drink it, that acid mixes with that milk and separates the fat and the water. Just like in hot milk, if you put lemon, what happens? दूध का दूध पानी का पानी ऐसा वैसे. So Paramahamsas, they know how to take the spiritual portion and leave the material portion. Like Srila Prabhupada, we call him as no Java Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya. Right? So Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya. Paramahamsa means who knows how to take the uh, how to see the spiritual portion in person and ignore the materialistic portion. Like when Prabhupada was preaching in America to the hippies, all the Americans, they were like cornering the hippies in one side. Okay, go to the Lower East Side, unwanted population, and they were putting them there and trying to reform them. And hippie had become a negative word. Hippie means who is doing all sinful activities. That kind of people they were. And when Prabhupada went there, he had no place to stay, and Prabhupada rented a room in hippie land in Bowery. It's called as Bowery. Right? Bowery is a term in India. We call it as slums, no? Where very cheap or low class people stay. So Prabhupada took a room in such a place. He had no money. And then he started, put a board, Bhagavad Gita class. Right? Tuesday evening and Thursday evening, something like that, 2 days in a week. He started doing. And then some of the news had reached the hippies that some Indian Swamiji has come and he's in our area. So then, and then Swamiji is doing some classes. So the news reached and some people started coming for the class. And Prabhupada knew that these people did not understand much. because they are all disoriented. Uh, but he saw that these hippies, although they have bad habits, they have one good quality. What is that? The, yeah, materially frustrated, correct? Then, huh? Good listeners. They were looking for, they were seeking for higher happiness. Prabhupada saw that these hippies, although they are in science certification, he saw that they are seeking for something higher. Actually, they are frustrated with this, but they're seeking something higher. So they were seeking something higher. Another thing is they were good at music. These people like music, and ours is chanting, dancing, feasting. And ISKCON's formula is chanting, dancing, feasting. So he saw these two qualities. Prabhupada caught them. So Prabhupada used to have half an hour kirtan, half an hour very crisp, clear, precise lecture. Prabhupada never beat around the bush. He never entertained people in his lecture. Prabhupada spoke to the point. जो बोला था straight forward is you are not the body or the soul and like a car and body. Prabhupada very clearly and with stories, analogies and his own experiences used to explain. और घुमा फिर के नहीं बोलते थे Prabhupada. That's why Prabhupada lectures were no crisp, half an hour. You never see Prabhupada speaking 2 hours lecture. In half an hour, Prabhupada summarized the whole thing and gave the essence. And then again half an hour kirtan. Half an hour lecture, half an hour kirtan, half an hour lecture, half an hour again kirtan. And then Prabhupada will cut apples, offer it to Krishna, and then distribute prasadam. And at that time, Bauri time, Prabhupada never had any money to cook also. That cooking started only in 22nd Avenue, where Prabhupada started having Sunday feast. In the initial days, they're just fruits, cut fruits, that's all. And but Prabhupada gave a lot of time for question answers and discussions after the program also. So Prabhupada saw this good quality in them and he ignored the negative quality. And Prabhupada was confident that if this Vasudeva Katha Ruchi, when people hear this Katha of Krishna and they chant Hare Krishna, the Rajaguna and Tamaguna will fade away. Tada rajas tamo bhava kama lobhada yaschaye chete te ranavitam sthitam satve prasidati. So he was confident that when they hear Krishna Katha and Krishna Kirtan, Rajaguna, Tamaguna influence will go away and they will come to Satuguna. So he was confident of that. So then he engaged them in Kirtan and hearing Katha. And then those Kirtans started becoming very popular. And Prabhupada said, you can bring your music instruments. No? Somebody is bringing harmonium, somebody is bringing kartal, somebody is bringing this kind of instruments and drums. And Prabhupada engaged them in Kirtan. And Kirtan started becoming popular. And then Prabhupada, and you can eventually see that how they all gave the bad thing and only the devotional portion remained. And they surrendered their life to Srila Prabhupada, isn't it? So this is called Paramahamsa. Another way of looking at hippies is chi 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 chi. नहाते नहीं, पी के आते हैं, सिगरेट फूकते हैं, keep distance. 1 feet, 10 meter दूर है ना, far away. That's another way of dealing with such people. No? But Prabhupada didn't do that. He compassionately dealt with them, accommodated them, and hoping that the negative portions will go away and only the pure portion will remain. So that's called Paramahamsa. So, so Kunti Maharani is in humility, she is saying here that you are the object of knowledge for Paramahamsas and also for great Munis, Munina. There are two kinds of Munis. One is philosophical speculators who are called Gyanis, but there are devotees also. They're called Sthitadhir Muni. Bhagavad Gita says, no? Sthitadhir Munir, Uchate, Vitaraga, Bhayukroda, Manvayama Bhashirta. No, what is that? No, Sthitadhir Munir Uchate. Dukheshu Anidvignamana, Sukheshu Vigataspya. Vitaraga Bhakota Sthita Munaruchate. So that is Sthita Dhir Muni, like Narada Muni. He is also Muni, but he is a devotee. So here Muni Nam means those who are devotees of the Lord, like Narada Muni. So you can be understood by such personalities. Amala Atmanam, and you are also understood by those who are pure in the heart. So such pure people's heart you reside, you are revealed. Krishna is so Kunti Maharani is telling these three categories of people: Paramahamsas, Munis, Amalatmanam, those are pure in their heart. So Krishna, but I am a lady, she says. Stri, she says, I am a Stri, I am a lady, I am less intelligent. How can I understand you? So now let's discuss about this point. Now Kunti Maharani is expressing herself that she is less intelligent. Katam pashyama hi striya. Great souls can understand you, but how can I understand you? But in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, actually Kunti Maharani is a very intelligent lady. Out of humility, she is saying that she is less intelligent. How she is intelligent? Because she is able to understand Krishna as the Supreme Lord. What are the two verses before this? Namasye Purusham Tvadyam Ishwaram Prakrite Param Alaksham Sarvabhutanam Antar Bahiravastitam. She is telling the first verse, Namasye Purusham Tvadyam. You are the original personality of Godhead. Ishwaram Prakrite Param. You are the supreme controller and you are beyond Prakriti. Alaksham Sarvabhutaram. You are not revealed to everybody. Antar Bahiravastitam. Although you are situated inside the heart of every living entity and you are outside also, still people cannot see you. See, Krishna is everywhere, but still we cannot see him. So Kunti Maharani is offering such a prayer. Means what? She knows, right? She knows the truth that Krishna is the supreme personality of God. And now she is telling, I am a Stri, how can I understand you? So this is the expression of humility. So Kunti Maharani is very intelligent lady. And then Srila Prabhupada glorifies the nature of woman in this purport. So he says, women in general are unable to speculate like philosophers, but they are blessed by the Lord because they believe at once in the superiority and almightiness of the Lord, and thus they offer obeisances without reservation. So this is the special favor of Krishna on women, that they have this innocent, natural faith in authority. They have this natural faith. And Srila Prabhupada says that that's why in most of the satsang programs, generally women come in bigger number. Generally, when public satsang program happens, no, then women population is more than the men population. Why? Because women have more faith in God. The natural faith is there. Because that innocence is there in their heart. That simplicity is there in their heart. So because of that innocence and simplicity, they naturally have that inclination to serve God. And another good qualities, they have service attitude more than men. Because of that service attitude, they naturally want to serve Krishna. Right? So, but men, they're a little complicated. बहुत क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं, बहुत स्पेकुलेट करते हैं, and when they hear something they doubt it. सच में है क्या? Right? So because men have this little complex thing, it becomes complexity in their mind. It becomes very difficult to understand even simple truths. But women have this natural faith, and whatever Guru says, Krishna says in Shastras, immediately they accept. Like for convincing a man to chant Hare Krishna, you have to say so many things. Shastra mein diya hai, wo diya hai, wo diya hai. It will help you in controlling the mind. But we see that many ladies automatically start chanting. You just tell them chant Hare Krishna, automatically pick up the beats and start chanting Hare Krishna. And our experience is when this Haridas Thakur's month, that week comes, World Holy Name Week. Ladies chant more number of rounds. They chant 100 rounds, 190 rounds, some people. I don't know how they chant because they have that faith, natural inclination. They keep chanting, chanting, chanting whole day. And men are busy in their work. Oh, I have to do work, I have to control this, I have to do these duties. So that little complexity in our heart makes it difficult to have natural faith. But women have more natural faith. That's what Prabhupada says here. For this reason, women generally assemble in great number in any sort of religious function. In every country and in every sect of religion, it appears that the women are more interested than men. Yeah. So, so this is natural. We can also, those are preachers, experience how difficult it is to attract few boys to attend device program. It's very complicated mind. They ask 100 questions. Why should I come? What is in it for me? I give 1 hour time. What I'll gain from that? So many complications. Huh? This simplicity of acceptance of the Lord's authority is more effective than showy, insincere religious fervor. Prabhupada says. It means what that simplicity is a very wonderful quality which even men should try to develop, rather than showing oneself to be a great advanced devotee by wearing tilak, dhoti kurta, um, and trying to impress others. No, that simplicity is a quality which attracts Krishna. So then Prabhupada glorifies it here. But then other places, Prabhupada says that women are less intelligent. So when Prabhupada made this statement in America, they became like women in America a little different. They try to compete with men and try to take the position of men. So Prabhupada understood the intent behind this question. So then he tried to explain it logically, and then because there are in statements also in Shastras like Stri Shudra Dvijabandhunam Trayina Shruti Gochara. Right. So the Shrutis or the Vedas cannot be very easily understood by Stri Shudra Dvijabandhunam. Because to understand any subject matter requires certain qualifications, some capacity, mental capacity to understand. So because the woman's brain is not so much logical, it is more emotional. So it is difficult to understand the complex subject matters in the Shastras. So, so the advantage also, disadvantage also, both are there. Because of that, uh, because men are more rational, they can understand the logical things very easily. Because women are more emotional, they can very easily put faith in Krishna and advance in Krishna consciousness faster than men also. Take both advantage and disadvantage there of this nature. So Prabhupada said that yes, they may be they are called less intelligent in Shastras because of their emotional nature, but they can also advance spiritually very fast, and that is told in Bhagavad Gita also. Mami Partha Epashritya Epishu Papayoneha Striya Vesha Tata Shudra Tepi Anti Param Gatim. Whoever it may be, if one takes to the path of bhakti, Krishna consciousness, whether it be a man or it may be woman or it may be low class Chandala, or even it can be an animal also. If he takes to the path of bhakti, then he can go back to spiritual world. It's possible. Dipiyanti Param Gatim. So that is most important, right? So I think last time when Hamog Lila Pura had come here, he made one activity. He said, right? How many are from Karnataka? Some people raise hands. It was right here only. How many are from America or no, Maharashtra? Some how many of our men, women raise hands? Still we are bodily conscious. He told like this. Then it was yeah. Although we are hearing this concept again and again that we are not this body, we are soul. The body is just a covering on the soul. It can be man body or woman body. So the bodies have got different nature, but soul, the soul is neither man nor woman. Right? The soul has no gender. The only gender of the soul is it is called Prakriti. Right? Bhagavad calls as Prakriti. Para Prakriti, Apara Prakriti. Right? Because now this Para Prakriti, the spiritual, the soul, the Atma, it's called Prakriti. Now that Para Prakriti is now entangled in this material body, so we discriminate with man, woman, animal, tree. Such discriminations come because of on the material platform. But on the spiritual platform, all are to be seen equally. All are same. And anybody takes to path of devotional service, they can advance towards Krishna. So this is a understanding of this point, right? So whoever it may be, man, woman, animal, they can advance in Krishna consciousness. So Bhakti Yoga Vidhanartham Katam Pashyemahi Striya. So this is what Prabhupada says in this purport. And if you refer to Srila Prabhupada's lecture on this, in Chicago, Prabhupada gave a series of lectures on teachings of Queen Kunti. And that is one of the rare series available in video. And most of the Prabhupada lectures are in audio format. But teachings of Queen Kunti is only lecture series. There are few other lectures here and there available in video, but this is full series available in video. So if you have time, you can watch. Not time, you should watch it and hear it. Prabhupada is speaking. It's black and white video. Some devotee got a camera and is recorded the whole thing. That's how we have access to it now. How Prabhupada gave lecture, how he sang Jaya Radha Madhava and then answered questions. All that is available. So you can hear that video series also. So Prabhupada says here, so Prabhupada says she glorifies, Prabhupada glorifies Kunti Maharani. He says Kunti Maharani is very humble and she is very tolerant also. How is she tolerant? She tolerated so much which happened in her life. She tolerated Tranadapi Sunijana. Prabhupada glorifies Kunti Maharani with this verse, Tranadapi Sunijana, Tarorapi Savishna. So many difficulties came when she was, in the early days, Pandu passed away. Then she was left with 5 children to take care. Then she lived just to take care of these 5 children. And these 5 children were actually very young, small kids. And there are murder attempts on them that you'll read in the next few verses, how so many calamities they went through. So many disturbances came. And Prabhupada says that these disturbances, although these disturbances were there, she always took shelter of Krishna. And because she took shelter of Krishna, she could cross these different difficulties which came. Generally, this Maya is very difficult to overcome. This material world is difficult to cross. The difficulties are very troublesome. But when we take shelter of Krishna, then we can cross over. Now, Kunti Maharani she's such an exalted devotee that she is offering one prayer that is telling, "Oh Krishna, please give me difficulties. Please give me more difficulties." Why? To remember Krishna. Because with difficulty comes the gift of remembrance of Krishna or dependency on Krishna. Because when everything is going fine, tendency is to forget Krishna. But when something is going wrong, immediately we think of Krishna and pray to him. So that's why we should not pray for difficulties, but we should pray for remembrance of Krishna. Oh Lord, whatever helps me to remember you, please do that. So that should be the prayer. If you pray for difficulty comes and then you forget Krishna, that is a bigger problem. So we should not imitate great Vaishnavas like Kunti Maharani. So we should pray that, oh Lord, let me never forget you. Smartavyam Satatam Vishnoham Vismartavyam Najatushit. Let me never forget Krishna. Let me always remember Krishna. That should be our prayer. So she is offering such a prayer. So Prabhupada tell that. Right? But there are many other points which Prabhupada is mentioning, but I had to leave some few minutes for reflections, comments, or question answers. Hare Krishna. Mike is there?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Very nicely you explained how to understand Krishna. The question that I had was, we know everything, that yes, we have to depend on Krishna. But when troubles come, when difficulties arise, when anxieties come, at that moment we forget Krishna and try to understand. That understanding is that yes, let me resolve the issue. Let me try to figure out how I can cross over. But the dependence is not. So at that moment, what should be done?
Yeah. So the question is that when difficulties come, then sometimes we try to take charge of the difficulty and try to solve ourselves and not depend on Krishna. Right? Actually, we should try to cultivate this dependence. So when you cultivate the dependence, when that difficult time comes and it's not spontaneously, one remembers Krishna. If you're not cultivated, right? Prabhupada said that no, it's like a parrot, no? Parrot, you can teach the parrot. Say Rama, Rama, say Krishna, Krishna bolo, Krishna, bol Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari bol, बोलते हैं. And you catch the neck. When you catch the neck, its original comes out. वैसे जब भगवान गला पकड़ते हैं ना, कल पता चलता है क्या क्या है अंदर. so, so when we are put through tests and difficulties, then only our real nature comes out. Right? Once, as in Pune, and then a class was going on like this. It is a small voice youth center, and then so it is on the second floor, and next to the window of the building, there is a electric pole, and then there is transformer there. Class was going on, discussion. Suddenly, boom! It exploded. Right in the window, no, see, spark comes in. Ah, ooh, all the sounds started coming. Devotees. So, Amma, different sound. And the preacher was giving class after that whole episode that got thanda ho gaya, and said again called everybody. Said, how many of you remembered Krishna? How many of you spontaneously called, hey Krishna? No. Then they started pondering, yes, it is, we are sitting in Bhagavatam class, but we are not able to remember Krishna. What will happen when death comes and Krishna catches our neck, and then what will Kantavarodhana Vido Smaranam Kutaste? Right? What is, how does that verse begin? Krishna Tvadiya Padapankaj Panjarantam Adyaiva me Vishatu Rajasa Rajahamsa Manasa Rajahamsa Prana Prayana Samaye Kapavata Pittair Kantavarodhana Vidho Smaranam Kutaste. Right? Kulshekar Maharaj is telling, I want to die now. He's saying, I want to die now because my mind now is thinking of you. Right? Right now I'm thinking of you, so let me die now. Prana Prayana Samaye Kapavata Pitta, like this is winter season now, many have got cold, cough, and throat goes off, then you cannot chant. At the time of death, how can you chant? Kant, guru, 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 guru sound. And breathing all the difficulty comes. How can you chant and remember Krishna? So right now we are able to chant and remember. If death comes now, wonderful. Krishna, I'm ready to come. So this is the mood which Kulshekar Maharaj is expressing. So this dependence has to be cultivated. Then at the time of difficulty, we can spontaneously depend. It's not artificial. If difficulty comes and then I'm not able to know Krishna, means I'm not ready. Let me prepare. That's what it means. Hare Krishna. Roji can give a class. Mike is coming.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you very much for the wonderful class. Two things which comes to mind from your class. You were trying to give descriptions of what's called the Brahman. So if you could kindly elaborate what is this Brahman? And second point is Katham Pashema Histriyaha. In the 10th chapter Bhagavad Gita, text 34, Krishna gives a dimension about women, Stri, Vaksh, Sudra, Nari, Nam, he gives some attributes of fine intelligence among women and things like that. Maybe you can throw a little bit of light on these two aspects.
Yasya prabha prabhavato jagadandakoti. So this Brahma Samhita verse. Yasya prabha prabhavato jagadandakoti koti swashesh vasudhati vibhuti bhinnam tad brahma nishkalamanantam ashesha bhutam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So this this Brahman is described in Brahma Samhita as the effulgence, Yasya Prabha, Krishnasya Prabha, coming from his body. Prabhavato Jagadanda Goti. So it is coming from Krishna's body and then spreading across spiritual world and the material world also. That is there everywhere. This Brahman is everywhere. And that effulgence is coming from Krishna's body. That's what Brahma Samhita says. And Bhagavad Gita also says, Brahmano hi pratishtaham amritasya vyesya cha shashvatasya cha dharmasya sukham aikantikasya cha. So this verse also says that how the Brahman depends on Krishna. Krishna is a Adhar for Brahma Jyoti. And it is Amritasya, there is eternity. And there is also spiritual happiness, impersonal Brahman happiness is there, freedom from moksha is there, freedom from actually miseries is there. So that's called as moksha. So these are some of the Shastric statements about what is Brahman. And beyond that is spiritual world, which is also part of Brahman, but there's more spiritual variety in the spiritual world. Material world is a reflection of the spiritual world. So the border is Brahma Jyoti, right? So these are some few thoughts about this Brahma Jyoti. And regarding the second question, Hri Sri Vakchanari Nam. So in the chapter that Vibhuti Yoga, so there Krishna is describing his opulences, so Vibhutis, and there he is telling that I am the effulgence of the sun. I am among the animals. I am tiger or the lion. Among men, I am the king. Like this, he is telling that the best among everything is me. Similarly, among the women are beautiful. They are having this wonderful quality of shyness, and then they are having this beautiful voice, walk. So that is also an opulence of Krishna. He says. Krishna says that these qualities, like he says that I'm the ability in man. Krishna says that I'm the ability in man. Similarly, in woman, he is the beautiful voice, or the beauty and the shyness. So these are the attributes which Krishna describes in Bhagavad Gita. So when you see any man who is having powerful ability, we can see that, oh, Krishna has empowered him. It's Krishna's opulence. Similarly, when you see a beautiful lady or a beautiful voice like Lata Mangeshkar, oh, that's people get attracted to that because that's the voice of Krishna. So by having a knowledge of these opulences and seeing Krishna in these opulences, we can never forget Krishna, right? There's some thoughts over here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank you for the
Krishna.
wonderful class, Prabhuji. In the sloka, Kunti Maharani refers to three people, Paramahamsa, Muni, and then Amala Atmanam. Actually, who is referred as Amala Atmanam, Prabhuji? And what is the position of practicing devotees, because they don't fit in any of these three categories?
Ah. So Amalatma means those who are completely pure in their heart. Right? Even Bhagavatam says that those who are very pure in their heart, non-envious, they can only understand Srimad Bhagavatam or understand Krishna. So now practicing sadhakas, we are also trying to understand Krishna. We are not able to understand. You know, from Shastras, from Gurus, we have heard we're chanting Hare Krishna. We are in the process of understanding Krishna. And we stick to this process. And when our heart becomes completely pure, then Krishna will reveal himself. Then we can understand Krishna fully. So there are 9 stages of bhakti. Ado Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, Prem. So Amalatmanam are those on the stage of Prema. And other devotees are there in the lower categories, lower stages. But they are in the same journey. Same train, same journey is going. But same path, but people are at different levels. So right now, most of us are in the stage of sadhana bhakti, especially anishtita bhajan kriya sadhana bhakti. Although Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, bhajan kriya, and bhajan kriya also anishtita bhajan kriya. There is nishtita bhajan kriya and anishtita bhajan kriya. So after one crosses the stage of nishtha, so anartha nivritti is done, all the unwanted elements are gone from the heart, then one gets nishtha. Then the bhakti will be very steady. Anishtita bhajan kriya means any difficulty when comes in the life, bhajan gets disturbed. Anishtita bhajan kriya. Right? For example, students, exam comes, chanting कभी छूट जाता है, रात को होता है, अनिश्चित हो जाता है. Right? Job night shift हो गया, job का time change हो गया, या fever आ गया, we cannot do bhajan. Right? Anishtita bhajan kriya. It's very difficult. Or even the remembrance of Krishna is also not continuous. It's always disturbances are there. So it's got Anishtita Bhajanika. Of course, there are 6 particular names given in Madhuri Kadamani, right? Like Ghana Tarala, the Utsahamai, Taranganangini, then the Vyuda Vikalpa, then there is a Niyamakshama, then there is Vishaya Sangara. There are 6 given. These 6 are the qualities of Anishtita Bhajana Kriya. Okay, so more details you can refer to a lecture on Madhurya Kadambini, where Vishwanath Thakur gives, he takes these 9 stages of bhakti and threadbare analyzes all of them. Shraddha, how do one develop Shraddha? Starting from how one develops Shraddha, with evidences from Bhagavatam, he gives. Then Bhajana Kriya, 6 stages of Anishtita Bhajana Kriya. Anarthas, 4 categories of Anarthas, with 4 subcategories, told 16 Anarthas, and when they go, at what stage they go, everything is thoroughly described. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, thank you very much for such nicely with so much of philosophical rigor explaining this particular verse. So I had a reflection on Sri Balaji Prabhu's question. So I had heard this saying that if you sweat more in practice, then you bleed less during the war. So basically our specific response to situations really depends on how much we have sweat during our sadhana, because we see there are different devotees for the same stimulus, they will have different response, and that response really depends on how much you have internalized the process of Krishna consciousness, and that really starts with how good is your sadhana, especially how good is your chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So I think if a devotee has really done his sadhana nicely early in the morning, then it actually gives them the shakti
Yes.
and the vivek, right, to respond properly. Otherwise, just by theory, it will never work. So just a small reflection on that. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guru. Very important reflection. Like morning sadhana is very important through history. Chant 16 notes in the morning. Daily here, one class of Bhagavatam class every day morning. So then throughout the day, some reflection, because some input has gone inside. We keep munching it, contemplating on it. So the practice we can make, then in the troubled times, difficulties, spontaneously remembrance can come. Thank you, Guru. The army people, they sweat in peace. Yeah, there is no war now, but they every day they do exercise. They go jogging. They do all the mock drills, shooting. Every day they service the guns, rifles. They keep it ready. वह मैं से अरे इतना क्यों परिश्रम कर रहे हो, कोई युद्ध नहीं है अभी. अरे युद्ध आएगा तो पता चलेगा. Then you start saying, where is my gun? बहुत दिन साहब ने गोली चल नहीं रहा है ना. Right? When I was in NCC, I was in NCC in college days. They used to give us a rifle, and our only job was rod रहते हैं, कपड़ा डालो, साफ करते रहो, keep it lubricated and bullets भी रहते हैं, उसको wax करके रखो, so that when war comes and tishum. So you have to sweat in peace so that you are ready for war. So daily sadhana which you do, like sweating, but when death comes, that is a test, war. So, right? So you have to be ready. Hare Krishna. Yes. I think it's time now. Hare Krishna, thank you very much for this service opportunity, speaking of Bhagavatam. So, kindly pray that I can also cultivate this qualities which we discussed today. Paramahamsa, Amalatma, the Muni, the very exalted things. And we can pray that we can also get that simple faith which Kunti Maharani has. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki, Srimad Bhagavat Mahapuran ki jai.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Wonderful churning.
Bottom of our heart, without even once
Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
There is a list of devotees here who have really spread. Very good. There are a list of devotees who really have sweat in peace, and the scores that have come through, especially related to book distribution, shows how much they sweat in peace. So I just name of devotees. These are the scores till date. We have Gaurchandra Gopinath for 20, 44 Srimad Bhagavatam sets, and 1,117 Bhagavad Gita. And one Suvarana Gaurahari Bhagavad Gita. 399 Bhagavad Gitas, including small books, 3 books.
Ramagand Ratish Prabhu and team, 1 Srimad Bhagavatam set, 243 Bhagavad Gita. Ashray Jagannath Prabhu, 280 Bhagavad Gitas. Ashok Gaur Prabhu and team, 208 Bhagavad Gitas. Sundarup Sham Prabhu, 175 Bhagavad Gitas. Narari Chaitanya Prabhu, 120 Bhagavad Gitas. Prasanna Balram Prabhu, 80 Bhagavad Gitas. Vittal Karuna Prabhu, 1 Srimad Bhagavatam set, 59 Bhagavad Gitas and 2 Chaitanya Charitamrita sets. And from the LPM department, we have 3 Srimad Bhagavatam sets. And on the counter, we have 57 Bhagavad Gitas. Dama Balde Prabhu, 1 Srimad Bhagavatam and 40 Bhagavad Gitas. Ravindra Nityam Prabhu, 52 Bhagavad Gitas. Venugopal Prabhu, 1 Srimad Bhagavatam set. Once Hare Krishna Mahamantra for these wonderful warriors. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Tomorrow is Vaikuntha Ekadashi. And I know devotees will be going for book distribution. So please connect with either Rukmini Rangakrishna and or Swayam Prakash for any further details. We have 3 donors today. We have 4 donors today. We have Deepali Gayatri Mataji for a birthday. And we have Ganesh Pai Prabhu, who's sponsored today on occasion of his father's birthday. And we also have Ravi Lochana Gaurang Prabhu, who has sponsored for Prashadam today. We also have Kamal Kishan Singh, brother of Balaji Govind Prabhu. Prabhu has also sponsored Prashadam today. So let us all chant once Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. On this first day of the year, anybody else would like to sponsor Prashadam today? Kindly raise their hands. There is also a wonderful yatra that is coming up to Dwarka Dham in February. So please contact Rati Madhur Mataji for any further details and registration. We also need volunteers. So on Vaikuntha Ekadashi, where devotees go to different places and do book distribution, they also need Prashadam. So Prashadam will be prepared here. We need some devotee volunteers to help in packing Prashadam. So please contact Swayam Prakash Prabhu or Suvarana Gaurahari Prabhu for helping in packing Prashadam. They can reach here by morning 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. they can reach in the morning. We also have DT dressmaking training coming up. This is a 6-weekly session and it will start from 8th January till 12th February. And the timings are 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Those who are interested, those who want to really to understand and want to participate in DT dressing, in this DT dressmaking, please contact Nandimukhi Mataji. Is Nandimukhi Mataji here? Or Pramod Nityam Prabhu. So please contact. There is a wonderful announcement. We have a guest speaker on 8th January, that is a Sunday, Srimad Bhagavatam class. We'll have His Grace Chaitanya Charan Prabhu here. Privo! For Ekadashi, fast breaking is from 6:40 to 10:30. That is on Tuesday. Hare Krishna, we'll have. And any newcomers today? Kindly raise your hands. Anybody who's come for the first time? Hare Krishna. So we'll have Jagannath Ashtakam. Brajagishwar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Nanda Pranams. Before ending the session, I would just want to inform that tomorrow we will be not having a Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya class because of Vaikuntha Ekadashi. Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Sudarshan ki jai, Shri Krishna Bhagwan ki jai, Gaurahari ki jai, Maharani ki jai. Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada. I just end the session now. Panchakapadaru, Sakabas, Palitanam, Paranam, Vaishnav.